everyone, and welcome to Crystal's Crochet Cubby Hole. We're on here for our washcloth stitch tutorial for Tutorial Tuesday, and today we're picking I'm doing a new stitch out of the new Crochet Stitch Dictionary, and it's by, there's Nele and Eveline Hetty-Burkart. But it's the new Crochet Stitch Dictionary, and then on page 65 we are going to be doing the Acorn cluster. So that's the stitch we're going to do today. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so you will need your yarn. Of course, I'm using 100% cotton yarn. I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. You need a tape measure if you want to measure a specific width or anything. You need a pair of scissors and a needle for sewing in your ends. And I also recommend, because this is like a 4-row repeat. Okay, also this is going to be like a 4-row repeat. You're going to be repeating rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 to get for the pattern. So I always get me an index card or whatever to write on. And we'll be doing that a lot as we're going along. And that helps me keep track of what row I'm on so that I don't make a mistake, or I'm less likely to make a mistake. So we'll put all this stuff out of the way and we'll begin, okay? But we will keep our paper close by and our pen. So to start off, doing the acorn clusters, you need an odd stitch count plus 1 for the beginning chain, plus 1 beginning chain. So we're going to do a slip knot. I'm a little fumble fingers today. So I'm going to chain 29, and you can do exactly like me, or you can do something different. But I'm going to do 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hold on just a second. Okay. I was making sure I had my yarn unraveled a little bit. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So that's my odd stitch count. And your odd stitch count on your chain. And now I'm going to do one more for the beginning chain on the next row. So that's a total of 30 chains. Okay. Now, with this, you need to know how to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do double crochets, and then we're going to do some double crochets together. Okay, so on our beginning chain, we've got 29 plus 1 for the chain. Now we're going to put a single, okay, we're going to put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, because this first chain is our chain 1 to turn. So the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet. Okay. Now in the next chain, we are going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all in the same stitch. So we go in, pull up a loop. You got 2 loops on your hook, pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2. Now go into that same stitch and do another single crochet. Okay. Now we are going to skip a chain. So we're skipping this chain right here, and we're going to go into the next chain, and we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and a single crochet in that same stitch. So you got single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now, and we're going to do this pattern, it's going to be all the way across. So this is our first row to get us going on. We're going to skip a chain, go into the next chain, the second chain over, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and then single crochet again in that same stitch. Okay, now we're going to do it all the way across, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it with you. Skip a chain, then in the next chain, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and then single crochet in that same stitch. Make sure you're going into that same stitch you did the last single crochet in. So you can see it's starting to do these little humps. Okay. Now we're going to skip a chain. Then we go into the next chain, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same chain. Skip a chain, then single crochet in the next, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same stitch. So that stitch has 2 single crochets with a chain 2 between them. Okay, we'll skip a chain, the next chain, single crochet. Let me pull that a little tighter. Okay, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and then single crochet in that same stitch. Skip a stitch, single crochet in the next, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same stitch. Okay, give me a little bit more yarn out. So then the next, we're going to skip a chain, and then the second chain over, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, another single crochet in that same stitch. I love acorns. I thought, oh, acorn clusters, let's try this stitch. And it actually is a very beautiful stitch. I really like it. So skip a stitch, or skip a chain, next chain over, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same stitch again. Skip a chain, next chain over, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet into that same stitch. Okay, skip a stitch, skip a chain, next chain over, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and another single crochet in that same stitch. Skip a chain, and then next chain, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in the same stitch. Okay, skip a chain, then single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same stitch. Now we have 1 stitch left, and in this last stitch we're just going to go in and single crochet. Okay, so go in and single crochet in that last stitch of the round of that row. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this, and turn our work. And there's what we got going on so far. A little bit wavy, but it'll straighten out some as you crochet. Now this is where our repeat starts. So rows, let's see, let me put this over here where you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to write down 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's my repeat rows. And we're on row 2. That's the first row of our repeat. So we chained 3 and we turned our work. Now, in the, do you see the chain space, the chain 2 space from the row before? We are going to do 3 double crochet together in that chain space. So you wrap your yarn, go into that chain space, pull up wrap your yarn, pull up a loop. You got 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2, and then stop. Then you wrap your yarn, go back in, pull up another loop. Now you have 4 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2. Now we have 3 on our hook. Wrap your yarn, go through one more time. Sorry. Pull up a loop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. We're going to pull through the first 2. Leaves 4 loops on our hook. Pull through all 4. And that is 3 chaining. That is, sorry, 3 double crochets together. Okay. Then we're going to chain 1. Then we're going to jump over to our next chain space. You just kind of feel for it. And you're going to do that again. And we're going to do that all the way across in each of the chain spaces. And then at the end, there's one little difference at the very end of this row. So we're going to go wrap your yarn, go in through that next chain space, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn over, pull through 2, 2 on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go back into that chain space, wrap your yarn, pull up. You have 4 loops on your hook, pull through 2. You have 3 on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go back in one more time. This is our 3rd time through. You got 5 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. You have 4 loops left. Wrap your yarn, pull through all 4, and then chain 1. Okay, and then we're going to do that again. So we find our next chain space, right there it is. Our next chain 2 space from the row before. Wrap your yarn, go into that chain space. Wrap your yarn, pull up a loop. There's 3 loops on your hook. Pull through the first 2. 2 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go through that chain space again. Wrap your yarn, pull up a loop. 4 loops on your hook. Pull through the first 2. 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go through one more time. Wrap your yarn, pull up. You've got 5 loops on your hook. Pull through 2. You have 4 loops on your hook. Pull through all 4. Chain 1. And we're going to do that all the way across. So I'm going to find my chain space. Right there it is. Pull up like you're going to do a double crochet, but you go through the first step and then you stop. Wrap your yarn and go in again. Wrap your yarn. Pull through the first 2. 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn. Go in the 3rd time. Pull up. 5 loops on your hook. Pull through the first 2. 4 loops on your hook. Pull through all 4. Chain 1. Now I'm just going to do it. And you can follow along, and then you can always rewind to do what I said if you need to hear the words. And I might do it again at the end. There's my next chain 2 space. So it's like you're starting to do a double crochet 3 different times, and you only do the first step each time. You wrap your yarn and pull through the first 2. And when you got 4 loops on your hook, that's the last one. You pull through all 4. Chain 1. So, and I guess I will talk. Here's the next chain 2 space from below. Wrap your yarn, go through the chain space, wrap your yarn, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. You got 2 on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go in again, pull up a loop. You got 4 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through the first 2. You have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, go in the 3rd time, pull up. 5 loops on your hook, pull through the first 2, 4 loops on your hook, pull through all 4, and then we're going to do a chain 1. Okay. Sorry, my nose was itching. There's your chain space. So wrap your yarn and go in that chain space. Pull through the first 2, wrap again, go in the 2nd time, pull up a loop. Go through the first 2, wrap your yarn again, go in the 3rd time, pull up, go through the first 2, 4 loops on your hook, go through all 4. Then we're going to chain 1 to go into the next step. And we're doing this all the way across for row 2. And then we're going to do it the next one. There's our chain 2 space from below. We're going to wrap our yarn, go in that chain space, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, wrap your yarn, go in again the second time, pull up a loop, go through the first 2 loops, wrap your yarn, go in the third time, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through the first 2, 4 loops left, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, and then chain 1. So here's our next chain 2 space. One time, there's my second time through, and then my third time in. And you're pulling through the first 2 loops each time except for that third time, and then once you pull through 2 and you got 4 loops on your hook, you'll pull through all 4 and then you'll chain 1. So we're almost to our end. There's my next chain space. So there we go. And there's only a slight difference in 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. 2 and 4 are similar, just a slight difference. And then 3 and 5 are pretty much the same, just a slight difference. So that's why it's a 4-row repeat. Wrap your yarn, go in through your chain space, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Wrap your yarn, go in the second time through that chain space, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2. Wrap your yarn, go through the third time into that chain space, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2, pull through all 4, and then chain 1. I'm going to do it in the next chain space, right there. Wrap your yarn, pull through all 4, chain 1. Now here's our last cluster of the row. So we're going to go on into it and do our 3 together again, okay? So we go in, wrap your yarn, pull up a loop, go through the first 2, wrap your yarn, go in again, pull up a loop, go through the first 2, wrap your yarn, go through the third time, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, pull through 4, chain 1, and now if you will look, we have one more chain in this row. So we're going to wrap our yarn and just do a regular double crochet in that last chain of the row, so it matches where we had a chain 3 on this side over here. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here on my card and I'm going to mark some way. I'll do a line because I'm going to be repeating this more than once as I'm going along. So I just try to do something different each time. So I'm going to do a line under each one as I complete it, so I know I'm on row 3. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now for row 3, I'm going to go find that chain 1 space from the row before, and I'm going to do a single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and a single crochet into that chain 1 space from the row before. Okay, so that's what we're going to do all the way across. We're going to go to that chain 1 space between our clusters, and we're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet all the way across till we get to the end. Okay, so here's our next chain 1 space, and this is pretty easy to find because you got your little clusters there. So single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2 single crochet into that same space. And we're not doing a chain 1 or nothing after that. We're going to immediately go to the next space. So into the next chain 1 space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet, all into the same space. And then we're going to do it all the way across. Single crochet, chain 1, 2, single crochet in that same space. Then chain 1 or single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Here we go again. Single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, chain or single crochet. I don't know why I keep on saying chain. We're going into a chain 1 space. Okay. Single crochet into that chain 1 space, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet into the same chain space. So each chain space has a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay? So here we go, and we're going to go all the way across doing that. 1, 2, single crochet. There's our next space. Single crochet, 1, 2 chains, single crochet, all into the same space. Single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Now, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Then next, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet, all into that same space. Oops, my yarn's about to jump away. Next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. There's another space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Now we have our last cluster and the chain 3 from the row before. So into that space, we're going to do the single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. And then that's the end of row 3. And I'm going to mark my row 3 here. And I always keep an index card and make all kinds of notes on them. See, this I'm writing down my hook, what it is that I'm doing. And like if I'm following a tutorial, I'll put the person's name that I'm following their tutorial. It just helps me keep track of stuff. Odd stitch count plus the beginning chain 1, things like that. I just write all my little notes down. So we're getting ready to start row 4. So we just finished row 3, so we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. And here's what we've got so far. There's our little acorn clusters starting to show up. So that is so cute. I like it. Okay, now on row 4, we chained 3 and turned our work. Now into this first chain 2 space right here from the row before, we're going to do one double crochet. One double crochet, chain. Let me go back and say this again correctly. I'm tongue-tied. Okay, you're going to wrap your yarn, go in through that chain 2 space, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. So just a normal double crochet into that first chain 2 space. And then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to jump over to our chain 2 space from the row before, and we're going to do 3 double crochets together into that chain 2 space. And we're going to repeat this all the way across. So wrap your yarn, go through that chain 2 space, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, go in again, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, go through 2, wrap your yarn and go through the third time into that chain space, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. That will leave you 4 loops on your hook. You wrap your yarn, pull through all 4, then chain 1. And again, that cluster of 3 double crochets together will repeat in every chain 2 space from the row before all the way across to the end. So here we go. And so once you get it going on, I mean, it's not as difficult. It's just, you just got to keep track of what row you're on, and then it's pretty basic. I mean, I think it'll be not too hard for you to do. I did this the other day for the first time. I did it myself first to make sure I was doing it correctly. And then I'm doing it with you guys now. So we're going to go across and find those chain 2 spaces from the row before and do our cluster of 3 double crochet together. And there's the next one. Okay, there's the next one. Okay, I'm trying to get me some more yarn loose out. Okay, and then there's our next one. So you got to make sure you're in the right place. There's your single and single. See the 2 little loops. Single here, and 2 chains right there in the middle. So wrap your yarn, go in through the 2 chains, wrap your yarn, go through 2, wrap your yarn, go through the chain, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, go through 2, wrap your yarn, go in one more time, the third time, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, 4 loops on your hook, pull through all 4, and chain 1 and go on to the next one. So here we go. I've used this yarn here for another washcloth we did, but it's just, I had several little cakes of it, or little skeins of it, so I thought I would do it again, and it's such a beautiful colors and pattern that it works up. So 3 double crochets together. Right, here we go. Chain 1. There's our next one. 3 double crochets together. Oops. Go through all 4. Chain 1. Sorry guys. Let's keep going. 3 double crochet together into the chain 2 space. Whoops. Give me some more yarn. Okay. Chain 1. Then we're going to do 3 double crochet together in the next chain 2 space. Then chain 1. Oops, I keep wanting to lose that yarn. Now, next 3 double crochet together into that chain 2 space. And guys, if I'm not doing this well enough, I mean, I'm still learning, and I know I've done a few tutorials, but the simpler ones are, you know, with just a single stitch or something, are a little bit easier. This one's got, you know, a couple different stitches and stuff. So if there's any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. You can even email me. My email will be in the description box if you Don't want to post it in the video, in the comments, but you're welcome to email me and ask any questions also. So now we've got, there's our chain 2 space. So we're going to do 3 double crochet together. And then a chain 1. And let's see, there's our next one. And see, like I said, make sure that you're in the chain 2 space and not in one of the single crochets from below. So you'll have two stitches here, 2 there. You'll have your V's here and here. And in between here is your chain 2 space. So we're going to do 3 double crochets together. And then we're going to pull through all 4, and then we're going to chain 1 and go on to the next. Now, at the end, we're on row 4, so at this very last chain 2 space right here, you are going to go into that very last space, and you're going to do 2 double crochet together. Only 2 this time. So wrap your yarn, go through that space, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. Wrap your yarn, go into the space the second time, pull up a loop, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, pull through 3. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn to start row 5. So there's what we got going on. Let me mark my row 4. This takes a little bit more time to do notes and stuff, but it is so helpful. I've used Post-it notes. I use index cards. You can get a pack of index cards pretty cheap. So, but there's that. We're on row 5, and this is the last row of our repeat rounds. And then you'll just go and you'll do 2, 3, 4, and 5 over and over again until you get it the width you want it, or the length you want it. So, in this row 5, we chained 1 and turned. Now we're going to, in the top of the 2 double crochet together from the row before, we're going to just do a single crochet in the top of that first loop. See, let's see. Let me pull it back. So there's where we did the chain 1. So in this very first loop or stitch, we're going to go in and just do a single crochet. Okay? Now, here is the chain 1 space from below where we did our cluster. See? So in that very next space, right after the single crochet, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Then we're going to jump over, and again we're going to do single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in every chain space across our work until we get to the end. So single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet in that same space. So the next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Then the next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and single crochet in that same space. So each space has a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. So you got 2 single crochets with the chain 2 space between them in each space going across. So let's keep going till we get to the end of this row. Single crochet, 1, 2, chains, single crochet, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, and this is a yarn eater for sure. Single crochet in the same space. Okay, next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Next space, single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, single crochet. Okay, now we've got one space, after that last cluster, and then we've got our chain 3 and our double crochet from this row before, which counts as like on this end we did the 2 double crochets together, so that's counts as the same as 2 double crochets together. So we're going into this space right here, and we're doing our single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Now in the top of this single crochet, or this double crochet right here, we're going to do 1 single crochet in that last stitch. It's hard to get in there. Let's see. Here we go. Well, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time. I guess I got my stitches too tight right there. Single crochet. Okay. Now, that is the end of our repeat rows. Let me mark number 5 on my paper. So now I'm going to start with 2 again. So in 2, you're chaining 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the end of our repeat rows. Rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you want to rewind the video back to where I started row 2 and repeat it again. And I'll try to look, I'll try to look and figure out where row 2 starts so that you can start there doing your repeat and you'll know where to rewind to, okay? So after you finish row 5, you would chain 3 and turn your work, and now you're going to start doing row 2, which is you go over to your chain 2 spaces from the row before, and you're going to do 3 double crochet together all the way across, and then at the end, the very last cluster, you'll do 3 double crochets together, and then that last stitch you'll do 1 double crochet, because you got a chain 3 here, and you want to similar over here. The chain 3 counts like a double crochet, so you'll have a double crochet at the end. So you got clusters of 3 double crochets together in each chain 2 space, and then at the end of round 2, which is your repeat round, you'll do 1 double crochet in that last stitch. And then you'll go on to round 3, which you'll just keep repeating 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I'm going to do that till I get to the size we want, and then we'll I've got one made. I'm going to show you how to do the very last bit to make it. See how it's got this little loop to make it more even? I'll show you what you can do to fix that. So just rewind back to where I started on row 2, and then repeat row 2, 3, 4, and 5 until you get it the width that you want. Be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and you can see how you can use, when you're making notes, like I did a line first, then I did a circle, then I did a line, and you can keep doing that, or you can do a second row, whatever, just to keep track of what row you're on so that you don't miss one of your repeat rows. So here is what it looks like finished. Let me see if I can back up a little bit. So there is the finished washcloth, and it's a little rough on the sides, so you probably could do a single crochet all the way around one time at the very end to give you a little border to kind of square it up better, okay? That is just optional. It just depends on what you want and like. And what I did on this last part, now let me show you here, where you have that, you're going to end on row 5, on a row 5 repeat, okay? So when you end on a row 5 repeat, you're going to have this little edge here. Now you can leave that edge if you like it, and if you don't want to do a border at all or whatever. But if you want to square it up a little bit so it's more flat like this side, then what I did was I just did a single crochet all the way across, back across it, and it kind of, flattened it out a little bit so it's not ruffled. So that's our washcloth day, and that is a beautiful pattern, isn't it? Let me see if I'll fold it so we can and pull it up closer. Let's see. See, that's a beautiful pattern. You got your little acorn clusters. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section or email me. And all you need to do is repeat rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 until you get it the length that you want it, okay? And that's it. I hope that I didn't do too bad on this and that you can follow it okay. And I hope you enjoy this. And this is the Acorn Clusters crochet stitch. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a good rest of your week. And we'll talk to you later in Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole, okay? Bye for now.